And in the top left, the man that can do anything, it seems like, at the moment. It is, of course, Cure. Currently the best Terran versus Protoss in the world according to Aligalak, and according to his most recent results. He's been on an absolute tear. I think in the last 3 or 4 series versus Hero, he managed to take him out. Took out MaxPax with a quick 2-0 as well, I want to say last week in the Kung Fu Cup. This guy has been on fire, absolutely on fire. His TVZ perhaps not quite as strong, but his TVT has also been looking very solid. Can he do it against a man that is known for his brilliant TVT? A man who's had the best Terran versus Terran over the past, I want to say 4 or 5 years. Sometimes even called unbeatable in this matchup. Can Cure do it? Can he? We're here to find out. This has been played in the GSL Round of 8 Group A. Now, spoiler incoming for the people who haven't seen any of that yet. This was the winner's match. So, this means that the winner of this game will qualify straight to the semifinals, which will once again be played offline. Now, of course, due to the recent fundraiser, the GSL has actually booted up its prize pool a significant amount. Fans have raised over $13,000 per month on their Patreon, which of course also provides these replays. So we see Maru opening up with a 2-Rex Proxy Reaper, a build that has now been scouted by Cure, and a build which gets responded by having a couple of SCVs, 1 Reaper up here, and this is an even trade, 1 SCV for 1 SCV. Okay, second SCV goes down, third SCV will fall as well. Nice little grenade there. Fourth SCV almost goes down as the second Reaper shows up. Look how razor thin these timings are. Here we go once again, 3 versus 2 right now. As the Hellion will pop out in about 8 seconds. Maru is of course aware of all of these timings. He knows when he is allowed up and when he isn't allowed up. But it does feel like Cure gets the better end of this deal. If either one of these players had to write the art of the deal after this game, I would trust Cure more than Maru. Maru is going to get a low ground CC because he has the perceived map control. I say perceived map control because in reality I'm not sure if he can actually keep it if Cure were to contest. Cure right now has 2 Reapers, 2 Hellions, while Maru has 5 Reapers. I'm not entirely sure how that fight goes, but in my mind it is pretty darn close. So just the fact that Maru opened up with 2 Barracks Proxy means Cure probably doesn't want to move on the map. He believes he's going to have a slight tech advantage and maybe a slight eco advantage in general, so it doesn't want to risk it perhaps. Maybe 5 Reapers is better than 2 Reapers, 2 Hellions. Yeah. See Maru even trying to pick at that little depot on top of the ramp. Should not be capable of getting it. We see a Cyclone coming out of Cure, of course wanting to use that to secure his low ground, while a tank on the other side is going to help out Maru build on his tank count early on in the game. Once again, the tech advantage definitely on the side of Cure here, who has about a 20-second faster starport, and will use that advantage to immediately go into a Raven, while on the other hand, Maru will follow this up with a medevac, so a more aggressive option. Kind of actually playing a tank drop-like build here. It's not really a tank drop build, of course. Like, it's not your standard tank drop build, and you open up with a proxy 2-Rex. That's not usually how these games go, but still goes back to familiar terrain in a way. It's a build he's been using a lot as of late. I've seen some series between him and Bian. I want to say in the Kung Fu Cup or the EPT Cup. I'm watching a lot of TVT as of late. And I believe that Maru used it 2 or 3 times at tank drop, so it's fairly familiar with that, how that micro works. Of course, this micro is fantastic. But instead, it's going to leave the tank at home, 5 Reaper drop towards the other side of the map. Well, I put Marines in if you can put in Reapers. But Cure has good coverage of his own main base. Look at that. Your average phone provider could definitely take note here. Look at this coverage, my friends. Boom, sees everything. Cure with a quick response as well when something does enter that circle of vision. The Cyclone locks onto the correct unit. That does mean a couple of SCVs will fall, but Maru loses a medevac and 5 Reapers. That now means that map control will be booted towards Cure here. Cure will know that he most likely has a Cyclone and Hellion lead. It is unlikely that there's going to be a Banshee after this medevac. So there's no counter harass possibility. Cure in my... Oh! Oh. Cure is going to translate this lead that he has into something different than I had expected. It's a second starport build. So I thought he was just gonna play it, you know, like most respectable Terrans would. Just get a 3rd CC, play it slow, play it cool. Maybe make a push with 2 or 3 Ravens. But instead, he's gonna lean heavily into his air lead with triple Viking production and then eventually transition into Liberators. Now Maru has spotted the lack of a 3rd command center. Maybe Maru believes that the 3rd command center is in position over here. We do see a Marine making its way over there, wanting to get that information. As this Raven is going to now expend some energy on the wrong side of the map. If you're being all in, I don't think this is quite what you want. It's absolutely vital for Maru at this point to just sit back on 2 bases and do nothing. He just needs to survive right now. As 1 turret does get landed here, we'll take out 2 workers. This is just going to embolden Cure even more. This Marine will get blasted here. Now, this bad boy has spotted the lack of a 3rd base. Once again, the Raven pops in over here. There's 2 Vikings, a Cyclone and a Raven at home for Maru, who's now desperately trying to get a bunker up. There's not a single lip out on the map. So here comes an interference matrix on the Raven. Double interference matrix go down on the other side, though. These tanks are, well, still 1 tank in range, actually. Doing God's work over here. Cure actually losing a lot here. Losing every single Raven. Losing a couple of tanks. Still has the air lead. Well, does he? It's 3 Vikings versus 3 Vikings. And 1 of his Vikings is damaged. He's actually lost the air lead. And now Maru is probably in a superior position. Yeah, there we go. Cure pisses off. And that is perhaps the correct call, just temporarily pissing off. This Viking might just get sniped. Good control here out of Cure. What is his follow-up with? More and more Vikings coming in. Makes a lot of sense. Stimpack, however, is about to finish up. 1-1 has also started. We have that triple Rex production here for Maru. And with the setup that he's working with right now, a medevac, yeah, I was gonna say, I'd love a medevac. So he currently has the air lead, and he will keep that for a little bit, right? There's the air rush distance that will take a while, but eventually he's going to lose it. His opponent simply has more starports and does more Viking production. So rather than trying to combat his opponent in the air, he says, hey, I'm just going to use my advantage of having a lot of Marines by forcing your hand. I'm going to force you into my tanks. Uh-oh. I'm going to force you into my tanks by dropping around and going perhaps for a base trade here. 4 Vikings also moving across the map to catch these reinforcing Vikings. This is absolutely brilliant play here. Maru can do that because he has the triple CC, which means he should have plenty of scans. And indeed, here comes a scan. Sees what's kicking off. These Vikings now are going to land very little defensive production at home here for Cure. Has to land his own Viking, but that's not going to be enough. Vikings now move towards the air. Might be capable of taking these out. No. Cure will push this back. I'd love to see these medevacs lift up and go around. I don't know if you try and crush this position with these medevacs and Marines, or if you just go for the full-on base trade. Perhaps trying to work on the reinforcements is the correct call after all. As Cure shifts his attention here more towards the main base where this factory is. That's the only factory producing tank. That could be an issue for sure. Here come the double medevac drops. Have they been spotted? They have been spotted, or have these tanks been spotted? Perhaps is the better question. 1-1 Marines with combat and sim. We'll make short work of that first tank. Second tank desperately trying to get back home, but might just not get it. Good scan forward here out of Maru. Sees the tank unsieged and is going to move in. And this is going to force Cure to move into a position where perhaps he doesn't quite want to be. This siege up, however, is good. These tanks get taken out. We get a massive land of Vikings here. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Maru with the SCV pool, with the tanks still in the back. There's 3 tanks remaining, and the Marines just a little bit too strong. Natural of Cure has been breached as well. That means that game number 1 will go to the king of TBT, Maru himself. Game number 2 here on Dragon Skills, as Maru only has 1 mode. Winning. Let's go. Look at this. Yes, Tiger Blood. This guy is mental. Another proxy 2-Rex. I mean, it worked out well enough, I guess, in game number 1. Oh, no way. I've never seen this response before in my life. He's going to proxy something, isn't he? You massive prick. Huh. Oh, this is so smart because the first depot wasn't on the ramp. This is such a sick adaptation. Is he just gonna build Hellions here in his opponent's main base? I think he is. I actually think he is. Now we are gonna see a Hellion pop out here. Uh-oh. Cure was in the incorrect location here. It was in the incorrect spot. Marines are being popped out one at a time. This piece of micro here is going to be really difficult to execute properly for Cure. Does not quite get that first Reaper. Was darn close though. First Hellion about to pop out. I think Maru might be in the world. This is gonna be so stupid. This is gonna be the dumbest game in the world, isn't it? Oh no. He's gonna wait till he gets... Do you wait till 3 or 4? Or like, what's the number? What's the perfect number? I bet Cure knows. Like, when's the optimal time to hit? You probably want to hit before the first Cyclone is out, I'd reckon. It's gonna be a Hellion here for Maru. That's actually really nice for him, because that gives him a little bit of padding at home as well. These Hellions are actually completely synchronized, or almost synchronized. And this is such an all-in-ish kind of play out of Cure as well. That's hilarious. I wonder if he's gonna wait for a third one. I think he should almost, but I'm not sure if he will. Maybe he shouldn't, and maybe he won't. I have no clue. Okay, he's not waiting. Hellion of Maru makes his way across the map. Here come the 2 cars. Immediately turns back around, tries to go for the surround on these Hellions. And this might just force Maru's hand, because he can't afford to lose 9 workers here. And he is about to lose 9 workers, that is for sure. Here come the Reapers towards the main base. This time it's 6. Last time it was 5. There's 3 cars around, and there's a bunch of Marines as well as a Reaper on the side of Cure. Some fantastic micro on these cars, honestly. These Reapers are just getting blasted. They're getting kicked out of the water here. There's still 1 Hellion remaining in the corner. It's gonna go in. GG gets called. Maru does not believe in his chances anymore. Cure ties up the series. Even Maru apparently has his limits, as after 2 games of proxy 2-Rex, he says, nah. Let's play a standard game, Cure. You've shown you're capable of beating my cheese. Now you're allowed into the macro game versus me. This is like some epic Dragon Ball Z fighting. I've never actually watched Dragon Ball Z. I just know that the fighting was epic and would sometimes take episodes. But rather than fighting, I'm pretty sure they were just charging up or talking. I'm not sure how it worked exactly. I also don't know how long Dragon Ball Z actually lasted. It must be a couple 100 episodes at least. I know the premise of the show is that they had to find the balls of the dragon, or the Dragon Balls as they're called. I'm not quite sure what they did when they found them. I don't think they could eat them, right? It's not like a food. It is a mystical power, probably. Probably should read up on the Dragon Ball Z lore at some point in my life. I feel like it's one of those references that people my age make a lot, you know? Like the 90s babies are usually into Dragon Ball and Pokemon. I do know about Pokemon. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z. One gas expand here out of Cure. It's kind of an intense build order. It's a build... Oh my god, this is actually... Cure might actually have the Dragon Balls already. At least I assume the balls of a dragon are huge, because this is insane. Imagine getting proxy 2-Rex twice in a row, and then the third game going, yeah, I'll play the one build that is really vulnerable to proxy 2-Rex. I'll play the one gas expand. And he goes for it. Don't worry, guys. I already found 2 of the 7 Dragon Balls. Cure currently has them. Good luck getting them from him. This guy's an absolute machine. Holy crap. That's actually so sick. No way. Gets the bunker. If he builds a reactor after this would be A tier. S tier. Oh my god. It's for the people that don't... Oh no, this was 2 Marine. I thought it was single Marine. Okay, that's 2 Marine is a little bit safer. 3 Marines is like the ultimate safety with this type of opener. But if you go single Marine into reactor, that would have been like, wow. Like, no respect for Maru's aggression at all. And even now, I'm honestly kind of surprised by how passive Maru is being. He's really okay with just playing Reaper Hellion, sitting at home. This feels like a tank drop to me. I've mentioned the build before. He's a little bit supply blocked, actually. His depot is fairly late. So what happens with this particular build is you play Reaper Hellion. You have a little bit of that map. What? He changed plans midway through. He changed plans. He switched it up. Why did he switch it up? What did he see? He popped up and saw the bunker, perhaps in a location he didn't like. He was like, okay, no, this is not going to work. Maybe the tank... Because he started the tank. The plan was the tank. He started Marines, he started a tank. Then he flew all the buildings into the sky. Starts Marine production now. And will just play Raven tank himself. This is one of the greediest build orders, by the way, that Maru can do from this opener. So the standard in Terran versus Terran is to build 4 to 6 Marines before your 3rd command center. Maru says, you know what, my opponent's playing 1 gas builds. What's the chance he's gonna do something aggressive? Not very high, is it? So he just plops down that command center. It would have been even sicker if he had built it on location, but I think it was kind of an improvised decision. So I don't think he was quite ready with the SCV there. This is a cool move, though. I haven't quite seen it. Maybe this is very common. I've only recently started really paying attention to the finer little details in TVT, which have made this matchup so much more interesting for me as well. For example, this particular move here that Cure is making is also nice to point out, perhaps. So the starport often is at the tech lab to build its initial Raven, sometimes 2 Raven, right? Then a common move is to swap the starport with the barracks. So the starport will fly to a reactor, start Viking production, and the barracks will start stim, where the tech lab was before. However, whenever the starport, rather than flying to a reactor, produces its own reactor, it means that the Terran player will most likely go into medevac production. Because he will not be fighting for air. No, he wants to get a lot of Marines out with quick stim, slightly quick upgrades as well, and then catch map or get map control with a higher Marine count and no Vikings, allowing for some aggression out of Cure here. And this has been a style that has really caught on as of late in Korea. Almost all Terran versus Terrans in the past few weeks have at least one player, but most of the time actually multiple players, so both players, opening up with this medevac style rather than the Vikings, allowing for more map control and often quicker expansions as well, because the one that has the map control often is allowed to expand a little bit quicker while dealing damage to his opponent. The air control, as we've seen it in the past, in Korea, seems to be less important. I do not know quite the reasons for this, why they believe this is the case, but this has been the case in recent games in Korea. Now, both Terran players here are opening up with Ravens on the other side of the map, and as Maru has 2, he might be the one that gets a little bit more damage done here. As we do indeed see the medevac start on the side of, well, both Terrans really. Both Terrans here opening it with the medevacs, as mentioned. There's just some interesting little things. And I've always kind of scuffed at TVT as a boring matchup, but I actually believe that if you start paying attention to the little things, the little switch ups, there's a lot of interesting little mind games. And especially this new medevac style is a lot more fun to watch rather than people camping with Viking Raven. It actually allows for some aggression. We see some wilder moves, and it actually reminds me of some good PvPs that I've watched in my time. So I'd like to officially announce that the worst matchup in StarCraft 2 currently is Zerg versus Zerg and not Terran versus Terran anymore. This is my verdict, and you're gonna have to live with it. I'm sorry, Zerg players. Your mirror matchup is now officially garbage. You've lost. Cure, oh, I love this move. Look at this, is so cute. This is so good. It's gonna go for a drop in the main base. Raven joins in. I wish that didn't die there. The goal was, if there's a tank here, he could disable that tank with an interference matrix so that this drop could potentially do more damage. 1-1 finishes for Cure faster than for his opponent. And this timing was absolutely insane. There was like a 5-second fight where there was 1-1 on these Marines and 0-0 on the others. This has a major impact on this game. We have a massive base trade on our hands here as well. Cure moving across the map with absolutely everything. There's 3 tanks at home, but there's combat shield on these Marines. I think Cure might be capable of breaking his opponent, but Maru has already broken his opponent. Does not have combat shield though. Combat shield must have been taken out or just never started researching. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened with combat shield, but it ain't around no more. It left for some cigarettes 5 years ago and never came back. Oh no. What an absolutely disastrous game. For Maru, the supplies are even, but without combat he can't fight. I don't believe it. Cure's desperately trying to push across the map. He has lost one of his CCs. So Cure is all in this position. I'm not sure whose position I favor. Well, there's 2 Ravens. Usually the guy with the Raven, that's the position that I favor. But without combat shield, I think Maru needs to give up this base right now. Maru needs to realize that he's up a base. He's up an orbital. He's up in Ravens. But he needs the combat shield to finish up. Scans, sees his opponent moving in. He's going to be out of position. You don't want to defend this, buddy. This base, I'm not sure if you can. Double interference matrix here do land. That was huge. That was a massive play. 2 tanks will get sniped. Cure is getting pushed back. And Maru seems to remain the king of the Terran versus Terran matchup. Does try to push forward. Is there an opportunity here for Cure to perhaps still break? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no. He's bleeding out. He is dying. Has a tank deficit. Combat shield finishes up here as well. And Maru, well, doesn't have anything in the natural, but is up a base, is up 3 tanks, is up a Raven, has the air superiority, and is up 10 workers. And at the end of the day, the king stay the king, as they say. Oh man, what a game this was, though. See, this is the type of TVT I freaking love. We're gonna see another big drop into the main. If he flies into this freaking turret again, I'm actually gonna lose my brain. Like, please, you know it's there. You see it in the fog of war. Thank the Lord that you didn't fly in there, my friend. Thank you so much. Okay, here comes a double drop. This one medevac is so darn low. This tank does unseat, but still gets blasted. Simultaneously, Cure gets pushed back. This base actually under some heavy fire right now. If he sniped this orbital, Maru is still ahead. Don't get me wrong. He's gonna snipe the orbital. He's gonna snipe the orbital. And it's... Oh, no, 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 no. Don't leave these units by themselves, Maru. Another doom drop into the main base. You can't be serious. Rally into the turret. I dare you. I dare you to rally this into the turret. That'd be such a high tier play. Maru doesn't believe that it's happening again. Cure says, hey, I can do the same trick 5 times in a row. Watch me go. Boost in. He has a tank. He has 2 tanks. If he sets up with 2 tanks, that's the production of Maru. This is the production of Maru. Oh my god, the medevac gets sniped here as well. The Ravens get taken out before they get there. Cure with the doom drop. Cure with the doom drop, completely dead. Reincarnated. Comes back to life. No one believes him. Cure waited for 3 minutes to come back into this game. And now he's stimming in and he's up 30 supply. +2 is about to finish up. And Maru was so far ahead. There's still 1 tank that needs to siege on the low ground. This is vital that this tank sieges, no? Maybe there's not enough Marines anymore and perhaps it doesn't matter. Cure with some absolute magic in his hands wins this game. This makes no sense. This series is ridiculous. The king is dead. Long live the king. Cure, the new master of Terran versus Terran. What a freaking series here of Terran versus Terran. And this is what we need in our lives. Holy crap. This is what we need. That's going to be it for me today. And for Cure and for Maru, who probably still going to be the highest ranked Terran versus Terran player. But the unofficial Terran versus Terran king right now is the man here in the bottom left. Can we see his units? Yeah, we can. Look at this. The snow drops have been paused in time. Cure sees everything clear. He is the winner here. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.